If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns are facing a significant change in their backfield, one that signals the end of an era for their star running back, Nick Chubb. On Friday, Jerome Ford, the team's current running back, took a substantial pay cut, reducing his salary from $3.40 million to $1.75 million. At first glance, this may seem like a move to clear space for Chubb's return. However, the restructuring of Ford's contract is designed to keep him on the roster through 2025, which could signal that Chubb's time in Cleveland is nearing its end. The move, combined with the Browns' decision to draft two young running backs in the 2025 NFL Draft, seems to suggest that the team is ready to part ways with their longtime star. Chubb, who has been with the Browns since being selected 35th overall in the 2018 NFL Draft, has long been a fixture in Cleveland's offense. Despite dealing with significant injuries over the past few seasons, he still ranks third on the team's all-time rushing list. His consistency has been remarkable, averaging over 5 yards per carry, which places him fourth all-time among running backs in career yards per carry. But as much as Chubb has been a consistent and dominant force in the backfield, the reality is that injuries have started to catch up with him. The past 2 seasons have been particularly tough for Chubb, as he has faced back-to-back season-ending injuries. This has led to doubts about his ability to maintain the level of performance that made him one of the NFL's top running backs. To make matters worse, in 2024, he posted a career-low 3.3 yards per carry, further raising concerns about his future in Cleveland. And at 29 years old, the window for Chubb to continue being the workhorse back the Browns have relied on for so long is starting to close. These factors are likely weighing heavily in the Browns' decision to move forward without him. Cleveland has already begun preparing for the post-Chubb era, drafting 2 promising running backs in the 2025 NFL Draft. Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson are both seen as potential long-term solutions for the Browns' rushing attack. The team is clearly looking to build for the future, and it seems that they view Chubb as a casualty of the shifting landscape. While Chubb's contributions to the team are undeniable, the Browns are clearly taking a forward-thinking approach, focusing on youth and durability in their backfield. Chubb had 4 straight seasons of 1,000 rushing yards, making him one of the best pure running backs in the league during his prime. His ability to grind out tough yards and break off big runs has endeared him to Browns fans, and his departure will certainly leave a void. However, the team's decision to move on is not necessarily a reflection of Chubb's talent, but rather a response to the harsh realities of the NFL, where age and injuries often lead to tough decisions. The Browns are hoping that Ford, along with the rookies Judkins and Sampson, will be able to carry the torch and keep the team's ground game effective. Despite Chubb's undeniable skill, his injury history and recent decline in performance have made it difficult for the Browns to justify bringing him back at his previous salary. The team is clearly looking to the future, and that future may not include Chubb, as painful as it may be for the fans who have seen him lead the offense for so many years. In fact, there have been reports indicating that Chubb has already been in discussions with an unnamed NFC North team, which could very well be his next destination. This only reinforces the growing sense that his time in Cleveland is coming to an end. For the Browns, replacing Chubb will not be an easy task. He has been the cornerstone of the team's running game for years, and his ability to perform at a high level despite injuries is a testament to his resilience. However, the team has no choice but to try and move forward without him. Ford, who now finds himself with a reduced salary but a guaranteed roster spot, will have to step up and play a bigger role in the offense. The hope is that he can fill the void left by Chubb's departure, but it will be a difficult challenge. In addition to Ford, the Browns will look to their rookies, Judkins and Sampson, to help carry the load. Both have the potential to be key contributors in the future, and their development will be crucial to the success of the team's rushing attack. The Browns have clearly invested in their future, and the expectation is that these young backs will be able to step into the void left by Chubb. It will take time, but Cleveland hopes they have found their running back of the future. As tough as it is for fans to say goodbye to Chubb, the reality is that the Browns have made a strategic decision for the future. In the NFL, change is constant, and teams must always be looking ahead. While Chubb's departure marks the end of an era, The team's future remains full of potential with the additions of Ford, Judkins, and Sampson. The Browns are hoping that these young players will be able to fill the shoes of their former star running back and continue to drive the offense forward. Ultimately, the decision to move on from Nick Chubb will be remembered as a bittersweet moment in Browns history. He has been a fan favorite and a key part of the team's offense for years, but the time has come for the Browns to look to the future. With Ford, Judkins, and Sampson now in the fold, Cleveland is hoping to maintain its ground game while transitioning to a new era. As for Chubb, wherever he lands next, his legacy in Cleveland will never be forgotten, but it seems his best years as a Brown are behind him. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. There's a rumor swirling around the NFL right now, and it's causing a lot of concern among Cleveland Browns fans. Myles Garrett, one of the league's most dominant defensive players, might be injured. Now, this isn't something you hear every day, especially when it comes to Garrett, who has been known for his durability and physical presence on the field. The defensive end has been a force to be reckoned with ever since he entered the league, and any hint of injury is enough to send waves of panic through the Browns fan base. The rumors have sparked a massive wave of speculation across social media, leaving many wondering just how serious this injury could be, especially at such a crucial point in the season. The first whispers of Garrett's potential injury started circulating after a vague report appeared online. As usual, with rumors like this, details were scarce. But considering Garrett's status as a key player for the Browns, it didn't take long for these rumors to blow up. Everyone's asking the same question. Is this injury as bad as it sounds, or is it just another overblown piece of news designed to get clicks? Let's break down what we know so far, and try to separate fact from fiction, because one thing's for sure, fans are on edge. Myles Garrett has become the face of the Cleveland defense. The 2023 season has been another standout year for the defensive end, with Garrett making his presence known in nearly every game. Whether it's sacking quarterbacks or being disruptive in the backfield, his performance has been nothing short of stellar. That's why any rumor involving Garrett's health is a cause for alarm. The Browns' playoff hopes rest on their defense, and Garrett is undoubtedly the most important piece of that puzzle. If this injury is legitimate, it could completely derail their chances this season. Fans are already bracing for the worst, hoping that this is just an unfortunate misreport. So what do we actually know about this injury? According to some sources, Garrett might have sustained the injury during the team's most recent practice session. But, as of now, nothing official has been confirmed. Some reports suggest that it could be a lower body injury, which would make sense given the way Garrett plays. His game revolves around explosiveness, power, and speed, all of which come from his legs. If there's any truth to these rumors, the Browns will have to make some tough decisions about his availability for upcoming games. But the lack of official confirmation leaves everyone in limbo, and that's where the tension is really building. If Garrett does end up missing time, the Browns will be forced to rely on other players to step up in his absence. But who can truly replace Myles Garrett? The truth is, there's no one on this roster who can fully replicate what he brings to the table. While players like Jadeveon Clowney and others on the defensive line have shown flashes of greatness, none of them have the same consistency or impact as Garrett. Without him, the Browns' defense could lose a lot of its bite. That's a scary thought for a team that's been so reliant on defense to stay competitive this season. The timing of this potential injury couldn't be worse for the Cleveland Browns. As the season reaches its most critical stretch, with playoff spots still up for grabs, losing Garrett would be a huge blow to their hopes. Every game counts at this point, and without their star defensive end, the Browns would be facing an uphill battle. The AFC North is a competitive division, and every team is fighting for positioning. The last thing the Browns need is to lose one of their most important players, especially when the postseason is within reach. If there's one thing we know for sure, it's that the Browns organization will be taking every possible precaution when it comes to Garrett's health. After all, his long-term availability is more important than any single game. With the playoff race in full swing, the temptation to push him back onto the field as soon as possible is there, but the team has to weigh that against the risk of making an injury worse. Garrett is the cornerstone of their defense, and rushing him back could be disastrous in the long run. The Browns will likely err on the side of caution, but they're in a tough spot. Another element of this situation is how it affects Garrett personally. He's not just a star player, but also one of the most passionate and driven athletes in the league. If Garrett is indeed injured, it's clear that he'll be doing everything in his power to recover as quickly as possible. He's not the type of player to let an injury define him. He's always been the type to play through pain when necessary. But we have to wonder if this will be one of those cases where the injury is just too significant to ignore. For a player like Garrett, the desire to be out there with his teammates is strong, but his health must come first. As we wait for official word from the Browns, all fans can do is speculate and hope for the best. The rumor mill is churning, but until there's confirmation from the team, it's hard to know what's true and what's just an exaggeration. The Browns' social media accounts, coaches, and Garrett himself have remained silent for now, adding fuel to the fire of uncertainty. One thing is clear, though: the stakes are incredibly high, and the news regarding Garrett's injury will be a game-changer. If this injury is significant, it could be a devastating blow to the Browns' playoff aspirations. In conclusion, the rumor about Myles Garrett's injury is one that has shaken up the entire Cleveland Browns community. While details remain scarce, the implications are massive. Garrett's status is crucial to the team's success, and without him, the defense would take a huge hit. For now, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but one thing is certain: the next few days will be critical in determining just how serious this injury really is. Browns fans everywhere are holding their breath, hoping that their star player will be back on the field sooner rather than later, ready to lead them toward a playoff berth. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!